What's going on? Being fit over 40 is so rare it should be illegal. And I'm actually going to give you the plan that makes it realistic too today. Okay. So if you're over 40, you believe your best body is behind you. I honestly believe you've been lied to. Getting in shape at this age, 40 plus, it's not just doable, but it is rare. You just look around you. Most of the average moms and dads are overweight, out of shape, and they think it requires extreme sacrifice. And when we think something is going to create a lot of pain in our life to achieve, our subconscious self sabotages. So you need the path of least resistance. And that's what I'm going to share today. It's not black market peptides or steroids. Yes, if you want to go way beyond your genetic limit, explore those options. That's cool. That's not my domain. So if that's what you're interested in, check out another video. This is about the basics that work best to not only look the part, but live a long, healthy life and be mentally stable. Okay. So I think back to my days at 260 pounds in my 20s, thinking I had it figured out, losing 60 pounds, but I yo-yoed like crazy. Like for 1 month, I would be on a low carb diet and be dialed in. I'd lose 10, 15 pounds in 1 month. Next month, completely off the plan because I couldn't stick to that. And those 10, 20 pounds came back as quickly as they went off. Okay. So my goal with you is to stop chasing fads because I realized nothing stuck when it was an extreme method, unsustainable approach. Once I hit my late 30s, everything shifted. Wasn't about being ripped for the beach. It was about energy, resilience, mental fortitude. I think that's a big one. You've got kids, you want to be emotionally stable, and you can't do that if you're cutting carbs and extreme dieting. Okay. So when I started helping people do the same, we've had over 1,500 people come through the program, CalFit here. It became obvious that the problem isn't your effort, it's the plan you're following. And that's what the framework I'm going to share with you today. We call it the Big Five. Okay. And really it comes down to 5 habits. Okay. So as simple as this sheet, hard to see on your end. First one is CAP, your calorie and protein control, not low carb, not necessarily clean eating, just sustainable, flexible, live your life, and it adapts to what you may have that week. You might be traveling, you still need to fit in a meal out at night, and the rest of your day is structured around that. Okay. So hit the link below. There's a little calorie calculator that'll set you up with your numbers to start with. I can't emphasize enough, your nutrition matters most, but it's not enough to just cut your calories down. You know what happens with that. You look like a melted candle after losing 20 pounds. You gain it all back. So that's where the protein piece comes in next, which about a gram per pound of goal weight. So if you're 220 now, you're trying to get to 190 pounds, aim for 190 grams of protein per day. Okay, you can work up from that a little bit, but that's the sweet spot for most. Number 2 is your water intake, the 3L club. It's boring, it's magic. You'll feel fuller, think clearer. You'll stop mistaking thirst for hunger, and it's hard to change your situation without hydration. Super obvious one, but most people overlook this. So don't, okay? Next up is sleep. This is where most adults drop the ball, and honestly, it's the most legal performance enhancer on the planet. Like getting 7+ hours a night, a cool room, maybe some magnesium or a hot shower before bed. That alone can change your body. You breathe out body fat while you sleep, right? Gets converted to carbon dioxide. So yes, I know kids and schedules get in the way, but I promise you, it's likely your late night scrolling in Netflix that's cutting into that hour that you need, that extra hour you need. Okay. Next up, along the lines of that protein piece we talked about, is sufficient strength training. You don't need to train like a bodybuilder, but nor should you do the typical fitness that's pandered to this audience, like Orange Theory, boot camps, where you go to a class and you sweat and someone yells at you. There's no real structure, no real progressions happening. You need to lift weights 3-ish times a week, 30 minutes, good form, heavy enough that it challenges you. That's what keeps your muscle around, which preserves metabolism, preserves the appearance you want at the end of the day, and ensures that most of the weight you lose on this diet is fat, okay? And it's your anti-aging insurance policy. Like, it's so critical to have appreciable amounts, not massive Arnold Schwarzenegger amounts. And nor will that happen by accident. All right. And the last but not least is your steps. 8,000-ish steps a day is, fairly sustainable for most. It's about 30 to 45 minutes of walking at a brisk pace. with that up to 10,000 steps at the upper limit, great. That's a full 60 minutes walking. Break it up though, like 10 minutes after meals, a walk and talk meeting. Don't expect to carve out an hour in your day for a full walk. That's just not going to happen for most of us. Okay. All right. So now that you've got those 5 habits, that's the plan. But you need to obviously adjust and adapt and potentially have some accountability if you're like most human beings and you fall off the wagon. So the big takeaway is it doesn't have to feel like punishment. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't have to get harder year after year. Just don't let it get so far away from where you want to be that the process to get back is a grind. Because when you follow a system that respects your season of life, feels aligned with your goals, not just doable, it's automatic, it does feel illegal, frankly, because everyone has this perception that getting in shape is this real sacrifice because they've scrolled Instagram too much and they think they got to follow David Goggins' routine and just crush their body in the process, or they're not doing anything. It's not worth it. You'll be the one over 40, looking better, feeling sharper, moving easier than you did a decade ago. I'm a big believer in this. When you practice the principles, work the plan, that's not hype. That's what happens when you build simple habits that stick. So don't try to be perfect. You don't need to go hard and grind. You just need to stop starting over with unsustainable systems. Okay. And if this being fit after 40 feels illegal to you, that's when you know you've won. When it's like, I don't really feel like I'm working that hard. I'm just sticking to the plan, eating my whole foods 80% of the time. I enjoy these strength training workouts I can squeeze into my schedule. And I'm getting out in nature and walking and, enjoying life with my kids. And that's what it's all about. Okay. So that's it. Hit the link below or send me a direct message on Instagram with the word coach and we can chat direct mentorship. But start with that calorie calculator. That'll get you going in the right direction.